What is up there, guys? This is DPR, and in today's Grand Theft Auto video we're going to be taking a look at my personal garages. I own 5 apartments throughout Los Santos. All of them have 10-car garages, so we're going to be looking at 3 of those garages in this video, and I'm going to make a separate video with the last 2. So starting off, we have this personal garage that has all the cars that I'm willing to sell in the future. So basically is where I store my cars that I'm going to sell, so I don't have to go and look around for cars in the street to sell. So I just store in this garage a lot of Land Rovers. I don't know what's the name of the game, but they're pretty much like 7 Land Rovers here, 6, and that's it for this garage. Moving on to the next garage, I have this one in the middle of the city, and I use this one mainly to store like the excess cars from my other 2 garages, the one of supercars and sports cars. So right now I only have like a couple of vehicles that are important in this garage. One of those is the Maybatsu Penumbra, I think it's called. And this like sports car, a pretty much old sports car, and I have a Dune buggy or whatever that has a gun installed. So I'm gonna show you both of these cars. The Maybatsu Penumbra Sports, it's a good car for customization. For performance, it actually sucks. It's one of the cars that you can pick from the start of the street and actually make your personal vehicle, so it's not that expensive. You can always look for one in the street and just pick it up and upgrade it and basically make it your personal vehicle and store it in your garage. So there's nothing special about this car. Now moving on to the buggy or whatever, the Dune Fab, I think it's called. It has a gun installed, which is really fun, and it's actually a really powerful off-road vehicle. You can use it to make missions, to accomplish missions, or to do business missions or whatever. And I'm gonna show you the functionality it has. You actually just hold the D-pad to the right, and actually you transfer to the machine gun that it has equipped. You can always use a friend, and you're driving and your friend is shooting everybody, and this is really useful in public lobbies, because this machine gun is really powerful. It can actually blow up cars, as you're gonna see in a while, and the vehicle is really fast. As you can see, it can blow up a police car in just a few seconds of firing. Actually, it turned out that the policeman caught fire before that, but actually the vehicles blow up pretty fast with this machine gun. Is really powerful. And with that being said, we're gonna move out to the second garage, which is, well, the third garage, which is where I store my sports cars. So this is gonna be quite interesting. First off, we got a benefactor Schwarzer. It's quite a nice vehicle to look at. Performance-wise, it sucks, so I'm not gonna even to test it. It's not a sports car you want to use in races or whatever. Then you have the Anis LG RH8, which is the free car you get by signing into Rockstar Social Club. And this car is worth using because it is really fast, and thank God that it's free, because what a hell of a car this is. This car can pick corners like they're nothing. This car is really good at cornering. About top speed and acceleration, it's average for a sports car, but when it comes to corners, this car is the master. That's what makes it a really good sports car. It was the #1 sports car according to some tests for quite a long while. It has been dethroned lately by the ITALI GTO, which I also have. I'm going to review it in a while. But it's still a really competitive car. It can pick up corners really good. So, and customization wise is really good. Now moving on to the benefactor Shulgan GT. This is quite a cool vehicle to look at. Performance wise, it is really good. It's a strong acceleration and a good top speed. The only problem is corners. It is the opposite of the Elegy, because this car is having a hard time in corners for my personal experience. So, leaving aside the problem with cornering of this vehicle, is quite a beast to use in free mode. It's quite a powerful vehicle, but the problem is it's not the vehicle you would want to use in races, because it can't corner that quickly and that accurately. And price-wise, this vehicle is quite expensive. It is actually $1,300,000, and that makes it a little bit expensive. Moving on to the Dinka Jester. This is quite an old vehicle, one of the first updates, one of the first DLCs in old gen. It was introduced way back in the PS3 version, but it's still quite a powerful vehicle in terms of cornering. It's not as good as the Elegy, but it's still really good, because the Elegy has a little advantage in top speed and acceleration, but this vehicle sticks to the ground like you have no idea. This vehicle is really good at taking corners or maneuvering around the map, which makes it ideal for races or for getting off radar for someone, or getting away when you have a bounty on your head, because it's an agile vehicle. So I recommend for you guys. It's not that expensive. It is actually like $250,000, which is really cheap considering the prices lately of the cars GTA Online. And it looks fantastic. You can customize it really cool, add some cool spoilers and some other customization options, so it's quite good car. Moving on to the next vehicle in my garage, this is the Grotti Turismo R. This was actually the first DLC vehicle that was introduced, well, the first DLC supercar that was introduced in the PS3 version of the game, and it is quite cheap. It's worth only $500,000, which is quite accessible for new players. So I recommend for you, if you are like new in this game, you can always buy this cheap supercar and it will not disappoint you. It is quite far off from the first place in races of supercars in these days, but given the price tag, this car is actually pretty good. If you're desperate for a supercar and have just started GTA Online, this will do the job for you. It looks like a supercar and it performs like one, which is really cool. And moving on to our next vehicle, we have the Grotti ITALI GTO. This is a sports car, not a supercar, but it performs like a supercar, believe me. This is the best sports car in my opinion in the game, and actually has been tested by a lot of YouTubers, and they all concluded that this was currently is the best sports car in the game. It actually looks like the best sports car in the game too. It's based on a Ferrari, and the lights, the taillights and the detail is really awesome, because this is a new DLC vehicle. It just came out a couple of months ago, I believe. It is really cool and looks amazing, and performance-wise, it's quite fast. It's quite a fast accelerating and quite fast top speed vehicle. And in the corners, it is really good. The only problem this vehicle has is that it bounces a lot in bumps. When you hit a bump, the vehicle is prone to bouncing a lot. But that also gives it a boost in speed. So if you can control this vehicle, it will do magic for you. In races, mostly in stunt races where there are a lot of bumps and everything, you can gain a lot of speed. But be careful in corners, because when you have a lot of speed and you hit a bump and you want to do a corner, you are prone to sliding out or going to crash yourself. This vehicle was actually on sale this week, and I actually bought it on sale, which is really cool. And the price tag normally it's almost $2 million, but believe me, it is worth the money. And the following car, it's not worth the money. That's ironic. This one is the Chevrolet Taipan. The Taipan, I made a mistake in buying it. I don't recommend you buy it. It is a slow supercar. It is a supercar and it performs worse than a sports car we just saw. This supercar has a lot of flaws. Firstly, it's ginormous. This vehicle is really big, as you can see. This vehicle is almost the size of an SUV. And that makes it troubling, maneuvering and everything, because it's quite large. But that's not the only problem. This vehicle has problems taking corners, and when you hit a bump, it just slows down. And this is a flaw that Rockstar made in some handling flags that they added to this vehicle, making it unusable in races. And that's it for the Chevrolet Taipan. I don't recommend you buy it. Now, moving on to the muscle car I have in this garage is the Vapid Dominator GTX. This is certainly not the fastest muscle car in the game, but it's still awesomely looking. It's probably the best looking muscle car in the game, and the customization options are just insane. I recommend you buy this vehicle if you want to show it off, because it looks awesome. Everyone's gonna stare at you in the lobbies when you're carrying one of these, especially if you had it modded out like mine. I went to the mod shop and actually put some fenders and spoilers and everything. It looks awesome, so badass. The next car in my garage is the Enus Windsor, and this is just a luxury car. I don't even drive it that much, and it's really good looking, but that being said, it's not a great vehicle for races or anything. It just looks good there. And for the last part of this video, this is my favorite car in this garage, and this is the PEGASSI Toros. This is actually the real life Lamborghini Urus, and the Lamborghini Urus is really awesome, and you can modify it really cool. It actually has the speed of a sports car, and the only problem is the cornering. Because it's an SUV, it's quite big and the center of mass is quite up, so it doesn't take that much corners. It's not a vehicle done for races, but it is certainly the fastest SUV in the game, and that's for sure. And it is quite good looking, and the top speed of this vehicle is insane. I believe it's on par with some supercars, and that makes it a really cool vehicle. And the fact that you can customize it so coolly, this vehicle is awesome. It actually performs good in off-road situations because of the large tires it has, and actually it has liveries and everything. It can be faster in some situations in straight line races with some sports cars. As you can see, I'm racing like a random guy in a line session, and I just threw it off the road there because it's a powerful vehicle. So that's my favorite vehicle in this garage, and this was all for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next video, where I'll be taking a look at the other two garages I have in this game. And see you guys next time.